Well, good morning. Thanks for joining Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. Good morning, Julie.
Grand Rising. Jonathan, super to see you.
Yeah, it was a beautiful sunny day out here in Arizona this morning. And
Same here in Kansas City.
I think we're supposed to be up in the 70s this week. That'll
Ooh, nice.
Looking
Won't
forward
be that
to it.
warm here.
Oh, yeah. So hope all of you guys out there had a wonderful weekend. We got some coverage we're going to share with you guys this morning. So we got Omar back in the news once again. She seems to be becoming quite popular,
Yes.
as well as the good old governor of Minnesota.
Tampon Tim? Are we going to talk about Tampon Tim?
Good old Tampon Tim. So you know that there's been this over $1 billion fraud thing going on. I think Tampon Tim and Omar, in my opinion, have their hands in the pot, and they are a part. I believe they're definitely a part of this. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty insane what we're actually witnessing. So I'm going to go ahead and start out sharing this real quick.
Okay, great.
And let's see if we can get to some of it for you guys. Got to figure out which screen is which. Here we go. Well, if it's going to
probably put a trigger warning.
Under the Walz administration, we have seen more than $1 billion in Minnesota tax dollars go to criminals through human services fraud. And it's not isolated to a single program. We've seen it across multiple.
Of course, it's going to freeze up.
You know, I'm going to say this. I have had some massive issues with a lot of my electronics all weekend, especially when I go to post something that has some substance to it.
Right.
So very interesting that it's now doing a whole whirly gig.
Well, you know, I've got a feeling a lot of it has to do with, I'll say it, Facebook.
Censorship. Yeah.
Yep. Every time they have really been interfering with my broadcasts lately.
Yeah.
Not surprising. Kind of getting fed up with it. Let's see if they'll let me share this other one. So we're going to stop sharing that one.
So I had two things happen this weekend. Was curious. Friday evening around 7 p.m. Central, the sun was already down, and we didn't have any clouds that night, but the emergency broadcast system went off on the radio.
Oh, really?
This was Friday night, and then they didn't say anything. You know, they did the usual beep, 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 and then come back with that, whatever. Well, they didn't say anything, that this was just a test. They went, it was about another 30 seconds after it stopped before it went back to the music. It happened again yesterday at like 3 in the afternoon. It was overcast, but it was definitely not a day where they normally test the EBS, right? It was very curious. And again, same thing. did the beep, 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 but then no announcement that this is just a test and only a test. Didn't say take cut, nothing. Say different radio station though.
Right.
So it was, I don't know what's happening, but something's happening.
Well, they're probably getting you guys ready for the tornadoes.
Well, that could be. We're definitely in Tornado Alley here.
Well, let's see if they're going to let me share this other one.
Okay.
We'll try it.
All righty.
Pocketing COVID-era welfare funds, more than $1 billion in taxpayer money that was stolen. It was pretty shocking. Of the 87 people charged, all but 8 are of Somali descent. And that has added to the spotlight being put specifically on your community. Why do you think this fraud was allowed to get so widespread?
Well, I want to say, this also has an impact on Somalis because we are also taxpayers in Minnesota. We also could have benefited from the program and the money that was stolen. And so it's been really frustrating for people to not acknowledge the fact that we're also, as Minnesotans, as taxpayers, really upset and angry about the fraud that has occurred.
Mm-hmm. So do you think, though, that there was a failure by the Democratic state government to police itself? This is a brazen, fraudulent activity here.
Yeah, and that is what I alluded to in my letter that I'd sent to the Secretary of Ag, was to see where things were going wrong. How can this amount of money disappear fraudulently without there being alarms being set off? And it is something that, we have to continue to investigate. We have to continue to ask those questions.
Yeah.
So, that seems to be the...
Pause it right there, because I'm gonna say something to that letter that she sent to the Department of Ag. First of all, I didn't know we had a Department of Ag, but whatever. I think the little letter that she sent supposedly was to test to see if anybody was going to follow through on fraud happening. And when they found out that no one would, green light, go.
Yep.
So don't. And then I'm sorry, but anybody that is slouching while they're in an interview, you're trying to cover up your body language, and no, you're not taking this seriously. You are trying to act as if it's no big deal, and no, bullshit. You need to be held accountable. Elon Omar, married to your brother, get out. She needs to be denaturalized, unnaturalized, whatever the hell that is. But she needs to have her United States citizenship revoked completely. She is going to be found guilty. Allegedly, they have taken billions of dollars. Billions with a B. I can't believe how much money they have taken from those people. And then Mr. Walsh is over there. Not even Mr. I shouldn't even. Tampon Tim is over there being a total Nimrod when it comes to trying to be held accountable and trying to throw it back on Trump. How the hell is this Trump? If you're supposed to, Trump's problem, how is he responsible for your state, sir?
No, exactly.
No.
Well, between all that crap, you got all the protesters out here. I want to share this thing from over the weekend on the protesters.
Where's this one?
Yeah, right here. Hold on one second. Let's see if we can get the volume to work. Well, isn't that sweet?
Not a penny, not a dollar. Not a penny, not a dollar. We won't pay for war and slaughter. We won't pay for war and slaughter. Hands up, Venezuela. Say no war with Venezuela. No war with Venezuela. Hands up, Venezuela.
So there you have it. You know, Julie, here's the thing. You know, hands off Venezuela, all the crap that they keep pulling. Um, yeah, you know what? Let's face the fact. What, you know, here's the reality. The Democrats support the cartel.
Yep.
You know, they're 100% behind them. Uh, you know, even Mark Kelly out here in Arizona. You know, for
Mhm.
him to be going against Trump, totally against these strikes on the drug traffickers coming in for blowing up their boats, the whole 9 yards. It's like what a freaking joke, and I mean that when I say that. I
Mhm.
mean, here you got people bringing in enough fentanyl to kill every last man, woman, and child here in America, and
Yep.
Mark Kelly's throwing a fit over Donald Trump's orders for wiping them out.
Right.
Why would you be against our military just wiping them out? I mean, why would you be against that? I mean, that's what I'm trying to
Well,
understand with these Democrats. They claim that they're all about our country, blah blah blah. Well, if you're all about our country, you know, especially with Kelly being former military, wouldn't you
mhm.
think Kelly would want to wipe them out as well?
You would think, but then that has to give them precedence in the brain department, and it's seriously lacking. You know, especially when we go back and take a look at Mark Kelly and his ties to a lot of different uh, communistic tendencies, and his ties to China, how he met his current wife. Just a lot of questions as to his true citizenship and to what he's supposedly about. Yeah, this guy, he's stinky, he's dirty, something's not right, and he's stirring the pot when it comes to seditious behavior,
Yeah.
and it's disgusting. People need to wake up. So in
Well,
short answer, we don't know. I mean, we can't answer how can they not? Well,
yeah.
they just don't. They don't think like we do. They just
Well,
don't.
now they're calling for Pete Hegseth
Oh
to
yeah,
be. They want him tried for military crimes, everything in the book.
yeah.
That's what
But
now that's the Democrats' new mission. Now they're going after him, even though
mhm,
the commander said, you know, it, the accusations the Democrats are making are untrue.
yeah,
The
they are.
Democrats don't give a shit. I mean, they're
Oh,
going after Hegseth to no end now,
right.
and you know, and here's a good reminder for you folks out there. This is why it's so important that we stay red. Because I'm going to tell you something right now. If these Democrats get back in control, it's over.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
they are going to wipe this country out, and that's what I see coming, Julie. Um, because here's the thing: everything that Donald Trump has been doing, securing our borders, getting these illegals out of our country. I promise you, if the Democrats take control, they're going to undo everything Trump is doing in a matter of a
Oh
week.
yeah. Oh
Just
yeah.
like just like the Biden administration did when um, Mr. Comey took office. Look, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's the way I see it. I mean
Yeah.
that man turned around right off the bat, week one, had them cutting holes in the border wall, opening it up for illegals to flow on through. And next thing you know, we got 30 million illegals sitting in America.
Yep. Yep.
And you know what? The amount that we have actually have caught and gotten out of here, I think it's what 400,000 now.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
We're almost into a year of Trump's office. So
Right.
if you figure that out, by the time Trump gets out of office, we're going to be lucky to have 3 million out of our country. That's the way I see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, when you have 30 million that poured through our borders and you've only gotten rid of 3 million of them, and that's the ones that they processed, not the
Right.
gotaways.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is just the ones that we know of and about. Well,
This
the
is
one.
why, Julie.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is why, in my opinion, they do need to make this bounty hunting open for the American contractors to be involved. They need to go ahead and deploy the militias around the United States, get them in
Mhm.
for rounding these people up. We
Yeah.
need to find another solution because don't get me wrong. What Tom Holman's doing is great work,
Mhm. Mhm.
but he's working on what I call a skeleton crew. Right?
Well, sure, because the good people got pushed out or they left voluntarily when they saw the caca that was coming through under the Biden administration. So
Right.
anybody with any decent, brain thought processes, they knew then that the orders that they were receiving from their commander in chief Biden were illegal to allow these people to come in. And they were like, screw you, I'm out of here. I don't care if I'm this close to retirement. I don't care. That it's
And I
not
get,
right,
yeah,
you
and I
know?
guarantee you something else, Julie. If Trump was to activate the militias around the United States,
Mhm.
the militias ain't going to say, "Okay, now pay me." Militias would be honored to
Oh,
take such an order and say, "Okay, let's
mhm.
round them up and get them the hell out of here." And it
Exactly,
wouldn't, you know,
exactly.
it wouldn't cost the government a dime with the militias. The
Right.
militias are happy to defend this country.
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
so there you go. I mean, that's what I would be doing if I was Donald Trump. I'd say, you know
Mhm.
what? Militias under the Constitution, the rule of law of the land, and let's do this
Mhm.
because, and here's the thing: militias are mandatory in the Constitution.
Yes, they
So
are.
why is it no president, even the governors, won't deploy the militias? Why is it?
I believe it's because we're for the longest time until recent, we've been under corporate law and they don't care. We haven't been under constitutional law. I believe what's been happening with Trump this round is that we're restoring the republic. And that's a different conversation than the corporate law that we've been under for a really, really long time. My comprehension is that that corporation is now bankrupt. The corporation of the United States is now bankrupt. And that we are behind the scenes, we see movement where gold and silver is going up. We're seeing where silver's really gone up quite a bit, and silver is in everything. So, not that this is any financial advice, but it when you look around the whole globe, a lot of the countries have been firing their Federal Reserves or getting rid of them somehow because the Federal Reserves do nothing but create money out of air and keep the people enslaved with
Yeah,
their taxes, right?
yeah.
So, the way that I see Trump moving some things when it comes to the taxation here in the country is getting more back to constitutional law. Um, because all of the things that they have been charging us for when it comes to regular, anytime you've got anything that requires a licensing process, it's actually unconstitutional. So there's a lot of things that we work within our society right now that are being challenged, and they need to be challenged because they have been a way to defraud we the people, right?
Well,
And
yeah, they've been defrauding us for years.
years. And so I find it curious. So we've got this thing going on in Minnesota. Well, all the states, and now some things have popped up with Governor Kelly over here in Kansas. And boy, she's been dirty for the longest time. Under her, there was massive fraud for the Department of Labor over COVID. My funds got stolen. I was supposed to receive a certain amount every week and nothing. I received nothing. And yet at the end of the year, the state of Kansas tried to tell me that I received a big chunk of change. No, I didn't. So
Wow.
there's fraud everywhere. And I really hope that the people start looking into their own places in their own states to see what's really been going on. It's a hot mess everywhere. So let's just flush it and move forward.
Yeah, yep. Drain the swamp. Let's get it gone. But you know, Julia, I was listening to the news again this morning, and they're talking about, oh, there's going to be mass arrest. They keep promoting this like there's going to be all these arrests being made. Well, we've been into the Trump administration now for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the arrest, folks? You know,
Right.
where's all these arrests?
Right.
You know, they got all the evidence in the world
Mm-hmm.
that they've got it right there.
Yep. We
You
keep
know,
being told they have it all. Well, if you have it all, then freaking use it all. Let's get it going. Come
yeah, in
on.
other words, don't tell us about it anymore. Show us.
Exactly.
You know, that's where I'm at. I'm tired of hearing
Exactly.
about it.
Me
Show
too.
me your actions behind your words.
Me too. Yep.
Because beyond that, for me, it's all just nothing but talk.
Yep.
Just a way to make headlines for them.
Yep. And we keep getting told we're going to have a wonderful Christmas. Well, shit, we've been told that forever. You know, let's drop it while it's hot now.
Come on, we were told Santa Claus was real. Come on. I mean, here we go.
Thank you, Easter Bunny.
And the Easter Bunny. Now, you're not going to tell me it's not true, are you, Julie?
Sorry.
Gosh darn it. I was looking forward to seeing Santa Claus this year.
Right? Oh my God, I hated Santa when I was a little girl. I would scream and cry. And one year, here's a funny story. So this was back in the day when they had the Polaroid cameras, you know, and you had to wait for them to be developed. So my mom, I was probably, I don't know, 6 years old. And she told me, she's like, I promise you, he will not touch you. Santa Claus will not touch you. Okay, so I go up there with my little brother. My little brother sits on Santa's lap. My little brother's 4. And I'm standing next to Santa. Well, 3 minutes later, we get the Polaroid back, and I did fine. We get the Polaroid back, and I see that Santa had his hand on my shoulder. I started screaming and having a meltdown. You told me he wasn't going to touch me. I did not like Santa Claus.
Well, I'll tell you what, I remember the first time I found out there was not a Santa Claus, and I can remember to this day.
Really?
So my grandparents were raising me.
Okay.
And I'm sitting there having a hard time falling asleep. I'm all excited for, Christmas morning, naturally, being a kid.
Yeah.
And I hear this thump. And I thought for sure that was Santa Claus. So I give it about 2 minutes, and I rush out into the living room area where I heard this noise. Evidently, it was snow falling off the roof. Where I was living at, we got a lot of snow.
Okay.
It was snow falling off the roof, and there was my grandpa and grandma putting the homemade presents under the tree.
Aww.
And I turned around and said, "You're not Santa Claus."
Oh.
I was so upset.
Aww.
I was looking forward to seeing Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
And then my grandpa turns around and goes, "Grandson, here, we need to sit down and have a serious talk here."
How old were you?
I was like, God, not even 6, 7 years old. Either way. But I still believed in Santa Claus up until then. I mean, nobody news to me. Santa Claus wasn't real. And I remember that to this day, and it's just like, wow. Grandma and Grandpa are Santa Claus.
Yeah. Right.
Yep. But, bless their hearts for all the stuff they did.
Absolutely.
We were poorer than dirt growing up. Grandparents couldn't afford to buy me presents. So my grandma, she would knit me sweaters, knit me pants, even tried to make me shoes, bless her heart. And back in those days, money was tight for them. Mm-hmm. And for them to even take me into their home spoke volumes about my grandparents.
Sure, absolutely.
But I'm blessed that they raised me, gave me a good childhood, brought me up in a good way to where I did have a future.
Yep.
And so for all you grandparents out there raising grandkids, my hat's off to you guys.
It's a big thing. Yes, absolutely. I agree. Big, huge kudos. I have a friend whose son he and his girlfriend had a baby, but they have some issues with their lives and not able to keep the baby. And so my friend at 69 years old stepped in and adopted his granddaughter when she's only 6 months old. I mean, that to me is like, wow, that's huge, you know?
Yeah.
So kudos to you grandparents stepping in and giving some foundation and taking care of our next generation. We need you
That's
guys, so
right.
thank you.
But you know, it's funny that we're on this topic because here's the thing, Julie. I look back in the 70s, you know, 80s, you know, growing up, and you look at to where this country's at today.
Mm.
And I'll tell you what, I am just like,
Unrecognizable.
it's like, what the hell happened to our country?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what happened to people being able to sit around a dinner table during the holiday seasons and have a Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner together, or just family being family? We don't see that anymore.
No,
We see a bunch of bickering, bunch of resentment. But you know, the Bible says these days were going to come where family would turn against family, and you know, and that's what we're seeing. And how
yeah.
right the Bible has been throughout all the scriptures. And you know, not to be on a preaching mode today, but you know, I'm a
But
great
it's
believer.
true. It's very
And
true.
yeah,
And you know, this, I know for me, for the last 5 years, the division that has been created from speaking our minds and speaking the truth is
yeah.
that's been by design.
So
Know?
much hate and division.
So
Absolutely.
much hate and
Yeah.
division. Now,
Yeah.
having said that, I will say this as well. There is so much more love that's being discussed too. Um, I choose to hang out with people that are helping to raise my vibration and not lower it.
Yeah. That's a good
So,
way to be.
yep,
Absolutely. Yeah. But
it's all
you know,
about choice, and God
yeah,
gives us this. You know, we have choice every day on what we're going to focus on.
yeah.
And I'm a silver lining person. I'm not about the doom and gloom. I like to see
Right.
the humanity and of in the heart of mankind coming through these days. And
Absolutely.
there's plenty of examples of it all around us. We just have to look. In the same way that we don't have to look far to see that there's people way worse off than us too.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know, back in the news, Julie, real quick, you know, all those weapons that we gave up over there, and where was that? Afghanistan, I believe.
oh,
Um,
that we left behind,
yeah,
and
that's
then
back
that
in.
when our 13 guys got killed. Yeah.
Yep, that's back
Uh-huh.
in the news. So here we're going to share just a little
Okay.
clip on this for everybody.
National security and military analyst Rebecca Grant. Rebecca, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Before we get started, I want to play something that Dan Hoffman said yesterday on Fox regarding this suspected shooter, because I think this is a question that's on so many people's minds. Take a listen.
This guy may have been vetted years ago. It doesn't mean that he wasn't radicalized in the years since he came to the United States. That's the question for me. Was this an act of terrorism, or was it a lone wolf attack, as a brutal one as it was?
You know, Rebecca, we keep talking about the vetting, which is incredibly important. But the big question also that's outstanding is what happened in the 4 years that this suspect was in the United States? Did somebody get to him, or did he just simply turn on the United States?
Well, and Dan is.
Well, my apologies, wrong story, but we'll share this one anyways.
Yeah, and I was like, which one is this?
Yeah.
And Alicia, we know.
I'm sorry, say that again, Julie.
Is this the guy that was shooting up at Pool's house?
Yeah, this is the guy that shot the military personnel, I believe.
Oh, okay. The DC gal.
That our refugee policy, which was originally created to bring in people fleeing the Soviet Union, it's been abused. And as a result, we have a national security threat inside our border. We know this individual was from Kandahar, capital city of the Taliban. When did he turn? We don't know. But there were a lot of warning signs and red flags during that disastrous evacuation. The failure to do the paperwork is creating a threat.
Okay, so I want to show you, he was part of this CIA-backed elite Afghan unit. And this right now shows some details where they operated in Afghanistan, but also the vetting process. Supposedly they went through biometric screenings, in-person interviews, which is very interesting.
Bullshit.
And
Excuse me.
Lochinwall's connection here, he was assigned to this O3 unit, recruited and trained by the CIA to fight against the Taliban. This group, also, Rebecca, known for their brutality and called death squads. So you take that last point there that I just said, right? That they're known as these death squads, quite brutal. And that this man also went through a one-on-one interviews, so we understand. What's your takeaway there? Could something have been missed in that process?
Well, it's very disturbing, and this is such a tragedy. We're going to learn more, but I'm reminded that in 2011, an Afghan Air Force colonel walked into an office at North Kabul Airport and blew up 8 U.S. Air Force service members and a contractor. That was an ally. The
So you
risks
think we
here
would have learned
are
our
just
lesson
very,
from that?
very large, and that's why I'm really glad the president is going to go and look at other cases, and we must keep an eye on this radicalization of Islam and this threat that, frankly, now is inside our borders.
There's been reporting that those who knew the suspect when he was younger say that he had mental health issues because of what he witnessed in Afghanistan. So you got to wonder, without painting all of the people who are here from Afghanistan with one brush, whether or not there are others, though, who could possibly be suffering the same type of issues.
So in other words, he had mental issues, and that's why he killed a bunch of Americans over here. Okay, now we get it.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course not, but I've got to say my mind is way more on this guy drove from Washington State and cost American lives. He took one American life. Gosh, I just can't get past that. Such a tragedy. Whatever happened to him, this should never have happened to an American soldier.
Right.
Exactly. Rebecca Grant, thank you so much for your time and your expertise today.
Talk about an act of war. They
you.
want to say that us hitting the narco boats, oh, we need to quantify it as an act of war. No, we don't. No, we don't.
No, I seen on the news here this morning. They were talking about the weapons again and how they're being used against Americans and different things. Again, we can thank the Biden administration and all these thugs. Mark Kelly, as far as I'm concerned, he's a thug as well. I don't want to get on the topic about him this morning.
For sure.
I'm just at a point right now to where, I'm frustrated, Julie. I've got to say it. I'm just frustrated. We see all these Democrats right now turning against Donald Trump, including a lot of patriots out there. And here Donald Trump is trying to stop the terrorism in this country. He's trying to stop the drug flow into this country. And I've even seen some patriots attacking Donald Trump for the way they're taking out these cartel guys on the boats. And I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? Because I'll tell you what, I'm just going to lay it out there. If I was in command, I guarantee, and I'll just say it, I would basically KILL all of them and let God sort them out if I was in command. I mean, that's the way it would be, because I'm at a point right now to where this country has to come first. The American safety has to be priority for all the Americans living in this country. And when you sit there and you allowed a foreign invasion on our soil for 4 years, and who you got Mark Kelly against, putting a stop to the cartels and this drug trafficking. You got the Democrats riding every day out there in the streets, about these Venezuelans and everybody else in the book. These are the same exact people that they're protesting about that are killing Americans. And you know what? If you Democrats out there that are watching my show are okay with that, with Americans dying, and you're protesting this kind of behavior, it's like, what? As far as I'm concerned, you ought to be deported out of this country as well. you're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's where I stand on it. I mean,
No.
I've been so frustrated over the weekend, Julie, just seeing the different reports and watching how these Democrats are protesting and rioting in the streets, assaulting our border patrol, ICE agents, even assaulting law enforcement. I've seen a couple of reports on.
I've seen those
This
too.
is
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. This is just getting so out of hand in this country.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, how do you take control of it? And again, I think Donald Trump needs to activate the militias, get the, you know, and here's the other thing. I brought this up in my broadcast the other day. But like here you got Grahaba, Adelita Grahaba,
Oh, yeah.
our newly elected congressperson here, the one that got elected because nobody went out and voted
And
on the
voted.
Republican Party
Right.
for
Yeah.
Daniel Gutierrez. But
Mm-hmm.
here she was out rioting with these people, telling the ICE agents and everybody to back off, getting in their faces and every crap. A little bit of tear gas hits the ground, and she acts like she got hit by it. And you can clearly see it hit down on the ground near her, but she just kept on walking forward. She wasn't going, oh my God, oh my God. Or, I mean, trust me, if you got tear gas, you're going to know you got tear gas, people.
Yeah, I heard she was lying like a rug is what she was doing about what was happening to her, and the altercation with ICE when none of it was as she said. And we have it all on film. So keep your lying up. But
who was there that day?
Who?
Daniel Gutierrez.
Oh, really?
He actually witnessed it all, and he said she's nothing but a liar.
Yes.
This didn't happen, and what she's claiming didn't happen.
Yep.
And it sounds like I've got to ask Dan, but it sounds like he might even have it on camera.
Well, I think I've seen stuff. There's some stuff
Dan, he probably does.
You can tell she wasn't pushed or whatever the hell she's trying to claim. There's no way. There's no way.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Why did they not arrest her for interfering?
Thank you.
Why did they not arrest her? Why was she given a free pass?
I know. I don't understand that either, Jonathan. That's very frustrating.
Here's a member of Congress sitting there at a protest because they're raiding all these different restaurants and stuff for illegals, which, by the way, they got a lot. But here she's protesting, telling our ICE agents to get out of Arizona.
Yeah.
Getting up in their faces and being a part of that riot.
Yep.
And it's like, wait a second. I don't care who you are. If you're out there doing that crap, why aren't you in handcuffs?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're interfering with the federal operation.
That's right.
So again, she should be automatically disbarred from Congress, thrown out. But then again, I think Mark Kelly ought to be removed as well.
Oh, completely as well.
We can go down a whole list of people that I think ought to be removed right now for their actions.
So that's funny that you said that, because I sent over to you, I think it was last week. There was this gentleman that went up in front of a city council office and was discussing the act of dual citizenship between the folks in Congress as identifying as U.S. citizen and Israeli citizen.
Right.
There's over 100 of them that have dual citizenship within Congress as we speak right now. Why? How is it that anybody in Congress has any affiliation to another flag, another country outside of the United States? This is ridiculous. And I would highly encourage folks to go research that. Why? First of all, check and see if your person has a dual citizenship. And if they do, ask them why.
Yeah, good question. And why it's being tolerated here in America.
Exactly. And I believe that that's part of how, I think that one of the reasons they were able to come in with the dual citizenship is under that whole corporate United States corporation. There's a lot of people that we think are one way, but they're really not. They're hiding something. It's not their true name. There's a lot of folks that aren't using their true name. Then you start researching the folks that are in Congress to the people that own stock in these big companies, like these big media companies or oil companies. Turns out these Congress people are married to the big CEOs.
Yeah.
Go figure. And their personal growth is gained by millions of dollars within a few year period. Bullshit. Right. Y'all are doing insider trading. And no, this is not good. And then you've got a Congress that gets to vote on their own health care, but they don't use our forced Obamacare. Yeah. That's bullshit. Okay. So we got to go in. Trump's right. We got to drain the swamp, hit the reset button, and start over again. Because it's nasty and nefarious. And so I will share this. When I was in the Air National Guard out of Kansas, I had the opportunity to go over to DC and was sent over there for about 10-day deployment to help in DC. So I'm there getting a tour, and the gentleman says that the Pentagon was built literally on a swamp.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, while I was there was a strike for the sanitation crews. And so that Pentagon, it houses, I want to say about maybe 10,000 people, maybe more. I don't know the number, but it's its own city, right? And if you don't pick up trash for a city, what happens? You got piles and piles and piles of trash. Yeah. Well, I got taken down to the Pentagon's basement. We did all levels. First of all, there's all these open ceiling tiles. And I asked about that. It's showing all these cables and stuff. I'm like, why are we seeing all this stuff? And he goes, oh, well, that's so that we can make sure that nobody's tapping the wires. Okay. Yeah. So then we go into the basement of the Pentagon. I'm not kidding. I'm witnessing secretaries with their feet up off the desk like this, doing their nails, and rats this big scurrying underneath their feet. I'm not kidding. I saw it with my own two eyes. Oh, freaked me out. So when I hear him talking about it being a swamp, he's not wrong. Yeah. I mean, yuck.
Hey, on another note, Julie, you gotta give Trump credit. You know, that Nicolas Maduro, Venezuelan, I believe, president. At least he gave him the opportunity to flee his country. And this is why they're protesting, by the way. He gave him the opportunity before we put ground forces down over there. And he told him, leave your leadership, you're done, or we're just going to come in and kill you. It's that simple. That's pretty much what it comes down to. And now, here's all these Americans protesting as well. Like, how dare you go in and do that? Again, these are communist thugs that are there to hurt America. Why would you not put our troops on the ground over there? Again, we got a major amount of the drugs coming through our borders from Venezuela, by boat, to the borders of Mexico. I mean, you name it. They're coming through in all different ways.
Yeah.
And this president over there allows us, because he's pocketing money from the cartels as well.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, how about we just say it like it is? I think he's one of the main leaders of the cartel. That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
So for Trump to even offer him a way out and say, you know what, walk away, I'm going to let you live. To me, that is a president that is probably a little more tolerant than I am. Because frankly, I'd probably just go in and say, you know what, guess what? See you in the next life.
Yeah,
That's
let
probably
God
where I'd
figure
be.
it out.
That's probably where I'd be at, if I was the president. But but you got to give it to Trump. He's got a little compassion. To where, you know, um, that's one of his downfalls, I think, versus the way I would probably operate, because I don't have that kind of compassion. If you're killing Americans, damn right, I'm just going to come take care of the problem. That's the way I see it.
So who do you think should be picked up first right now?
I think we need to get rid of the Venezuelan president for starters. Whether they pick him up, take him into custody, make him stand trial for these crimes as well upon America.
Right.
I think he should be one of the public enemies, number one, in my opinion, on it. Again, but my opinions don't really matter because I'd handle things a lot different than a lot of people. But to me, you got to go after you got to go after the heart. If
Oh,
you
the head
just
of the snake. Yeah,
yeah, I
absolutely.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you just got to yank the heart right out and be done with it, because until you do that, they're always going to remain on the sidelines, still running the show in one shape, way or form. It's
Right.
going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, just like kind of like they do in our prisons. We get these cartel members in our prison, and they're there barking orders from a prison cell, telling their cartel thugs what to do to Americans.
Doesn't
And who
surprise
to
me.
go after. Um, to me, if you got them in prison in our prison, you don't allow them phone calls. You don't allow them contact with the outside world.
Nope.
Lock them up, be done with
Yep.
them, and
Well,
raise
that's
up.
what they did with the J6ers. They're putting them all
Yeah,
in solitary confinement. Where are we with Tina Peters? She's still not out yet. What the
so what?
hell?
Yeah, so why are we giving these
What
cartel
in the
thugs and these
hell? Tina
people?
Peters needs to be released now.
Yeah,
Come on, Trump administration. What the F?
yep,
I'm seriously upset about that one.
yep, oh yeah. But my point is, Julie, when you think about it, we give the cartel and these thugs better treatment than we give our own American people treatment.
I
Our
know.
January 6ers were locked away for a lot of them were locked away for over 2 years.
Yep.
For over 2 years
Yep.
without any charges filed on them.
Yep.
They were
I
just
know.
locked away in solitary confinement. Tell me where that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
How's
There's
that
no sense.
justice?
No,
Um,
exactly.
Tina Peters spoke out, spoke the truth.
Yep.
Was sick of the election fraud. She laid it out on the line to people and said, "Here it is. I'm a whistleblower."
Yep.
And next thing you know, the silencer, they incarcerated.
Yep. And she's still there.
And she's still there. That's the way these Democrats are going to do if they get in power as well.
And
they're going to go after every last one of us for speaking out against them.
absolutely. Yes. Right. Well, and this is where I'm ready for Pam Bondi to do something. Pull something. Get somebody arrested. She's doing nothing but parrot. And we're sick of it. It's time for action. So pull the plug, get Tina Peters out of where she is illegally, and get somebody arrested. And if we need to start the UCMJ over this Mark Kelly schmuck, let's do it. Game on.
Yep. Well, like I said, these thugs get away with murder, but then they incarcerate people like Tina Peters, January 6 people. But here's these Democrats, even Comey, and all these thugs out there that have done a lot of wrong in this country. And, there's even your own FBI that did wrong. They got all the charges on him that they can sink him to no end. Same thing with that other FBI director. What's his name? Not Comey, but
the other one, right? Christopher Wray.
Yeah, Christopher Wray. I mean, they got all the evidence in the world on these guys. So why do they get a get out of jail free card? Don't have to worry about serving the day one in jail, but yet you can lock away patriots for several years without a charge one.
Without a charge, exactly.
Without a charge. I mean, explain that to me. I like to know the logic behind it.
Make it make sense. It doesn't. It does not
Yeah.
make sense at all. Yep. Just
But again, I guess that's where it pays to be a Democrat versus a Republican, because
yeah.
somehow these Democrats have some sort of control over this. Anyway, anybody wants to look at this, you can say no, they don't have any control. I
Right.
disagree.
No, I
These
agree.
Democrats, in my opinion, have something on somebody for them to not be taking the action they need to take.
Agreed.
And that's just my opinion on this matter. Doesn't mean I'm right. Um, and good possibility it could be stuff that Donald Trump doesn't even know about. Donald Trump has no power over the justice system. But my question is, why are all these people getting a walk? Because they're walking, every one of them.
Yeah. And
But
where's our conversation about P. Diddy and all of his craziness too?
Yep.
I mean, that's some BS there. That justice has not been served there. Oh no.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
no.
Not even close.
So yeah, it's nearly Christmas time. We're ready for everything to be hitting the fan. Please.
Yeah. Well, that's all I want for Christmas this year.
That's all I want. I got my front teeth. I don't need anything else but rest. That's all I want for Christmas.
Yeah, I don't need presents under the tree. I just need
Me
to see
neither.
arrests made, and I'm going to say this is the best Christmas ever.
Exactly.
That's all I
me
want to
too.
see. It's not a matter about getting presents. That would be a present, though, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Present to the American people for us to finally see action versus a bunch of BS talk out there.
Thank you. Exactly.
But at the same time, got to see if we've had any comments on our subject this morning.
I think we just had a little smiley face and a heart from Donna Boer. Thank you, Donna.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Donna. But it just comes down to I don't see anything that's going to be happening. That's my opinion on the matter. I don't think we're really going to see arrest. God knows I wish. I pray to God I'm wrong, but I don't see arrests being made. Here's the Clintons walked away free as a bird.
Thank you. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's today's date? The 9th?
Yep.
8th. Now, aren't the Clintons supposed to be showing up tomorrow? I think that's their court date.
My understanding last was they're not going to show up.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I thought that today's or tomorrow's date was like the drop dead. You got to show by this time or you're getting picked up.
Yeah.
But I don't recall what date it was.
And I don't believe for a second they're going to get picked up. I don't believe anybody's going to jail. We've been hearing this kind of talk for years and years. Just like all the Obama corruption, Biden corruption, his sonny boy, his son, all the corrupt crap his son did. All these people should have been behind bars, and none of them serve a dime.
Talk about ties when it comes to drugs. Good God, the Clintons got nobody's got anything over them. I mean,
Biden's son does. He's kind of almost like probably a drug kingpin himself, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Not to mention he got some pretty high position jobs, taking care of some pretty big stuff. Not bad for being a drug addict. He can't keep his pants zipped up.
Exactly.
I guess he did pretty good for himself, and his daddy knew about everything. And he flat out said his dad knew, but yet Biden wasn't charged for any wrongdoings. He wasn't charged for any wrongdoings. Or should I say he wasn't nothing stuck to where he's doing time.
Right.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah.
But again,
if you really were to deep dive into that family, which I have done. So, we're all talking about this lovely little island that all of these folks went to, supposedly. There's an island just like it with the ex-president's name on it. There's another island by Richard Branson or Brunson or whatever the hell that guy's name, the Virgin guy, the guy that owns Virgin Records and all that stuff. He's got his own island. Look, this shit is everywhere. And yeah, until we see arrests, it's really, it feels very futile. It feels very futile, but these folks are guilty as all get out. I mean, it's disgusting. It's really
well.
disgusting.
I guess we'll see in 3 years from now how right we are or wrong. I think my prediction, and I'm just going to say it. My prediction is we're not going to see mass arrest. I don't believe we're even close to seeing it. I believe they somehow have some kind of control over these guys that's keeping them out of jail, or a lot of this something. Either way, something's happening here. Because that every time we turn around, Pam Bondi's on there. Oh yeah, we're going to make a mass arrest. Well, Pam Bondi, do your job. If you're going to make them, shut up about it and just do your job. That's what I talk to you, Pam Bondi. Because right now the American people have been waiting and waiting and waiting to see these mass arrests.
We're out of patience. We are out of patience. All of us.
And this goes out to the Trump administration as well. I love Donald Trump, our president, but I'm just going to say it. You're going to have people like Pam Bondi in power doing stuff.
Or not doing stuff.
Get them to do their job.
Yeah.
Because the American people, Trump, I'll say it, they are tired of hearing it. We are tired of it. We've been hearing this for over 4 years. We can go back 8 years, 12 years. I mean, we keep hearing this and keep hearing this, but we have never once, except for January 6th people, we see mass arrests there.
Right. Of innocent people that is totally set up.
Well, we see people like Tina Peters arrested for speaking out, but yet you guys can't convict FBI guys when you know they were corrupt and dirty, and you know it. And the American people are sitting here like, how are we supposed to continue to have faith in our justice system?
And we don't. The fact of the matter is we don't. I don't. I mean, I think people have gotten to the point where they're just like, screw it. It's too convoluted and nasty to try to unravel. It's almost like a big old fishing line that is all gobbled up and you can't undo it. You've got to cut it through, right? And the current administration, I would love to see some arrests. Please, please, please. This is what we need.
Yeah, like I said, the American, I can't speak for all the American people, but I can speak for myself. I'm just tired of it. I've become cold to everything anymore, and I am. I'm as cold as a fish. I have no mercy on any of these thugs, and what they have gotten away with is murder and everything in the book. And I'm just tired of hearing about how we're just going to go do all these mass arrests when, 6 months down the road, a year down the road, a year in the Trump's administration, who have you seen arrested?
No, only innocent people continue to be only innocent people.
Yep.
But
then we go. But then we go back to Donald Trump.
Not only being picked up, but we're losing patriots, like as in dying.
Yeah.
We had
but then we go back to
this week.
And here's another good example, Julie. We can go back to even Trump. Look at the way the FBI raided him. Look at the way they raided Roger Stone.
Roger Stone, exactly.
Him and his wife. Look at the way they raided Mike Lindell. But we can go on and on and on.
Jim Price in Kansas. He was running for a position in Wichita, Kansas, and FBI came in, planted evidence on him, and made him look like some drug addict dude, and he's not. And I mean, the FBI have ruined more lives and the CIA. These three-letter agencies, let's talk about Doge diving into these three-letter agencies, right?
Yeah.
Come on. Ridiculous.
And again, folks, don't get me wrong. I love our law enforcement. everybody in the book out there, but at the same time, we've got a lot of corrupt ones as well. And I'm just
Mm-hmm.
going to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we've got, a lot of people corrupt that's working under Donald Trump. That it's actually assisting the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a matter of time Donald Trump's going to realize it, go, you're fired.
Yeah,
but,
right.
you know, but,
Well, hopefully before they do more damage.
yeah.
I mean,
But
that's
at
how
the
it
same
rolls.
time, I'm not seeing anything that's benefiting America. I don't see anything that's taking away the corrupt people.
Mm-hmm.
They're still in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And why? Why are they still allowed to be in the picture?
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and here you got uh, Mark. What's his name? The
Yeah.
astronaut. Mark Kelly. Here
Kelly.
you got Mark Kelly sitting there, um, basically antagonizing Trump right now. Making comments all over the news networks and different things, and
Mm-hmm.
if Trump's going to try to kill me and all this stuff, whatever he's saying about Trump, it's like you got to be dumber than a box of rocks, because there is such a thing as you might piss the president off to a point to where he is going to see to it that you're charged with treason.
Well, I
Like
would
we've
hope
talked
so
about.
because just the merits stand by themselves. I
Yep.
mean, what the man is doing is treasonous, along with a whole bunch of other people. We've found this out. It ties all the way back to Obama, right? Obama himself was a total scam. One of first openly gay marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that one.
Hey, but you know what? I think what we're going to see at the end of the day, I think we're going to see this all just kind of go away. It's going to go silent. This is my opinion, folks. Let's see if I'm right. I think it's all going to go silent. I think Mark Kelly and them all going to make a little deal behind the sidelines. For all we know, they all could be sitting at a bar together at night laughing.
Oh, I don't doubt that. Yeah.
At this point, it makes you wonder. I mean, I've
Yeah.
talked to, I've got friends that are senators and congressmen, and they told me how what we see in the real world and what they do behind scenes is two different things. He goes, in the real world, you think they hate one another passionately, and then at night they'll be all sitting there at some bar together, laughing away, having drinks, having a good old time.
You
And I
said
think this is
two things. You said two things there that I caught. You said behind the scenes, which
Yep.
denotes a movie, and in the real world, which denotes that they're not in the real world. I think is very true.
Yep.
I saw a black and white picture the other day of I think it was Winston Churchill was getting ready to be interviewed, and they had one of those big TV. Remember the director, scene take 25.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, they had one of those in front of his face, and it's like this is what they do all the time. They're taking their takes. They're giving us a movie. So it's ridiculous.
Well, we must be on take 1,000.
Oh man, I think we're on take 1,000,000 at this point.
Maybe
Groundhog
one,
Day.
maybe one. Yeah, this is definitely like Groundhog Day movie.
Yeah.
Keep waking up, same scenario.
Yeah. When will it ever end? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think we're ready for it to end. But
Yes.
again, I don't think it's going to matter who we ever get in office when it comes to president. I think we're always going to be facing these kind of issues, as far as with Republicans, because Republicans talk a good talk, and I'm just going to say this: they talk a good talk to get elected, but once they're in office, it's just like it's like they're somewhere else.
They just
And I don't get
yes.
and that's why, like, several years ago, I went out and I interviewed everybody that was running for Congress and Senate. I did that
Wow.
out in Idaho. And I hit them with the questions. I said, "What are you going to do your first day in office?"
Mm-hmm.
And they all made these different kinds of promises, but the ones that got elected, that I interviewed, and a kind of find out a lot of it was BS that they were saying. I called them out on it. And I said, what happened to you saying you're going to do this, this, and this?
Right. Right.
Because we're not seeing it.
And then what was their answer when you asked them that?
Oh, we're getting to it. Just be patient. Just be patient.
Mm-hmm.
I think the American people have been patient for a lot of years.
Yeah. I've been waiting my whole damn life. Thank you. I'm done. Put a fork in me.
So, I mean, don't tell me be patient.
Yeah.
Or don't tell me, you just got to be patient. Things are in the works. I've heard that same phrase for so many years. I'm so tired of hearing it.
Yep. Check is in the mail.
Tell me things are in the works, because by the time anything ever does happen, if it does happen, I'm probably going to be dead, long gone.
Right?
Oh, I'm serious.
I know. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, Julie, I guess we kind of went over our time, but that's all right. Yeah, it's 11:05 Mountain Time, I believe. Yep.
All righty then.
That means it's about 1 your time, I think.
Well, it's only noon.
Oh, noon. That's right. You're only an hour ahead of me.
It's only 12.
Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in to Jonathan and Julie D in the morning. We'll be back live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 9 Pacific. Sorry for some of the video footage not being able to share with you guys this morning. Once again, mysterious things keep happening.
Oh yes, interference.
Yeah, constant interference. But thank God I had the backup video on the same subject.
Yeah, that was great.
So I don't think Facebook planned for that one to happen.
No.
But either way, at least we got it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
But you guys keep praying for this country. Put a lot of heat on your congressman.
Mm-hmm.
Start writing the White House, guys. Go to whitehouse.gov. Start writing the White House. Say, and put a message out there. We the people have waited and waited for arrest. When are we going to see arrest?
Yep.
If we get millions of patriots doing that, putting pressure on the White House, sooner or later, Donald Trump is going to have to pay attention, because someone's going to be telling Donald Trump, wow, we got millions of patriots reaching out to us all across America saying, why are we not seeing arrests, Mr. President?
Right.
Why are we seeing these people get away with murder and keep walking?
Still.
So I'm asking you guys all to put pressure on the White House in that matter. Call their phone line as well. I don't have it in front of me today, but call their phone line as well. Blow it up. Let's leave millions of messages saying we the people want to see arrest. We want to see this corruption end in our country.
Yep.
And I guarantee you, folks, we put that kind of pressure on the White House, they're going to have no choice but to pay attention to what the American people are very aggravated about right now.
Yeah.
And I'm more aggravated watching Comey walk, but supposedly he's going to get retried. But
we'll see. We'll see.
Talk is cheap, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
And we've heard a whole lot of talk, very little action in that category. But don't get me wrong. Love our president. He's done great on our borders, trying to get things secured. I have to disagree with the president on how he's going about getting these illegals out of our country. He needs to definitely bring in the bounty hunters, call in the militias. And for all you sheriffs out there, I'm going to call you guys out once again this morning. Why aren't you guys intervening on this corruption? You guys are the law of the land, by the way. You've got the right to go out and make arrests.
You've got the full law, correct law of the land, the Constitution.
Yep. And for you guys to be allowing this kind of corruption as well, trust me, if I was a sheriff, and I see what's happening down there in Phoenix with Grajava, Adelita Grajava, I probably would have just walked up and said, you know what? Place your hands behind your back. You got the right to remain silent, blah, blah, blah. And I would have just taken control of it. She should have been arrested there on the spot.
Yep, agreed.
But as usual, she gets a free pass just like the rest of them. So
slap on the wrist with a
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you guys again live tomorrow morning. God bless.